Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Xerneas in the Open Master League. And not only the normal Xerneas, but of course we're going to run the legacy move Geomancy. I was super lucky at the Go Fest in London and I got a 100% variant there. So of course I went ahead and maxed one out, especially as I haven't built one prior to this one, so that's very nice for me. So today we're going to take a look if this Pokemon is actually worth it. Because yes, it is an upgrade, and yes, this Pokemon is on rank 4 in PvPoke. But I have some doubts about this Pokemon. You're going to also see later on why this is the case. And I will talk a little bit about this anyway in the video. So let's take a look at what is going on here. We're going to have a team with Kyogre in the lead, which was also in my top team video as well. You can also use Giratina in the lead, which is a very strong one as well. I played 4 sets in total. You're going to see all the last 2 sets that I played with this team because I want to get some knowledge into it first. I was also waking up for the first one and I played horrific. Like honestly, like the team was not the fault. It was just me making basically every misplay in the world. So these are the second two, like the third and fourth set that I played with this team. And it definitely went way better after I kinda knew what I needed to do. Here, for example, I was able to outspeed the Excadrill and knock out the Dragonite to finish up this, no legendary team from the opponent. And here definitely also a very good lead for me. One thing here as well, this team kinda is a little bit difficult against Zacian. Zacian is just very neutral against everything here. So this can be an issue, but also we're running Wild Charge as well as Play Rough onto our own Zacian, which is good and bad on its own ways. Honestly, after playing those games here right now, I feel like that the Play Rough maybe was not the play, but also then again, like you kind of needed to pressure something like Giratina, so I'm not sure about this. Here I should have most likely went straight for my charge move. I think I'm going to now use another shield and go for a little bit more fast move pressure so I can get up to 2 charge moves here. Wild Charge is kind of needed for Ho-Oh. Like if you encounter a Ho-Oh in the back, you kind of want to have the Wild Charge here so you can swap out into your Zacian as your Say Swap. This is the Say Swap of this team. Go for a Wild Charge against the Ho-Oh and you're still going to have your lead of Kyogre, which is going to be fine against it. Here we're going to encounter the Rayquaza against us, which of course can have now the move Dragon Ascent. But this is a player that played in the London or Osaka Go Fest. Let's take a look at this one. They are running Hurricane still, so they don't have the extra move, which actually would have done way more damage as well. Most likely knocked me out here, so that's very nice. As the Moonblast coming through right now, and the Landorus is gonna basically not have the best time here. They're forced to throw a charge move. I still have my Kyogre in the back, and this is going to be a good game here, as we are going to be able to reach the surf, or not even, we can just farm them all the way down. But yeah, here we most likely would have lost the game if the opponent had the right moveset onto the Rayquaza, but of course this is going to change when the global Go Fest is going to happen, as we're going to be able to get the Rayquaza with the new move Dragon Ascent for everybody. Right now, if you want to know how good the Rayquaza is with the Dragon Ascent, there's a video on my channel as well, which I uploaded yesterday. Most likely yesterday. I don't know if this video is coming out on Saturday. I'm not sure about it, but most likely will be. So definitely check out the video about the Rayquaza with the new move as well, because it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Maybe that's actually going to come out on Monday. I don't know. You will know when this video is going to get released, as we're going to here have now the matchup against the Dialga. I'm going to be able to let one move go through here, and I can still go for a charge, but the opponent going to do me a favor and swap out anyway into their Landorus again, which will allow me to actually get some damage onto them, and I can go for the Surf here, but they're gonna go ahead and go for the Stone Edge actually, which is really bad because now it's all down to Xerneas. And honestly, here again, I kind of make a misplay. I make honestly a lot of misplays, and this was one of the bigger ones. I think I did. Maybe not. Let's see. We're gonna go for the close combat. Definitely what we should do here is this going to knock them out, and you're going to see me here going, oh no mind, I'm going to go straight close combat. So I guess I actually play it right here. There was definitely a game where I went for Moonblast before. Honestly, especially with like Dragon Breath, it doesn't do too much damage. Close combat here definitely knocks out the opponent, which is really nice, and we will be able to win the game. But yeah, that's like stuff that you kind of have to know. Don't really, like honestly, Moonblast is kind of overrated, I feel like. Same goes for Clefable in the Ultra League. You usually kind of want to go ahead and go for the cheaper move, because a lot of Pokemon are just 2 shots and you do like 70% damage with like your Moonblast, while like the other one would do 50% damage. So while it does more damage, usually it does not really help all the time. Here we're going to have a Zacian against us right now, which is going to now use a shield in order to So we're going to still have our own Zacian here now against the opponent's Groudon, which is gonna go ahead and go for the Fire Punch. I actually didn't think it would knock us out, but it does, and honestly I was thinking that this definitely presses Blade, but they're actually just gonna go ahead and go for the Fire Punch. So that's going to be a little bit awkward. I can overfarm by a little bit and knock them out with one Surf, and we're going to still have the shield advantage here for just a short amount of time, as the opponent gonna most likely swap back into their Zacian. And we will see right now, they're going to be able to go for most likely a Wild Charge here. I'm going to swap out here onto the Charge move, but they're going to swap out into their Yveltal, which means we can go for one Moonblast, and this should be all it takes to knock them out, right? No, it's not. And they can still go for a Charge move here right now, and this is going to be awkward. And this is a thing with Xerneas, which I feel like I faced a lot of times. This Pokemon itself, it is very strong. Like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely an upgrade compared to Tackle. But in some scenarios, it's actually a downgrade to compared to Tackle, because Tackle just does way more damage. While, yes, the energy generation is very nice, before with Tackle, you were able to a lot of times just one-shot something with Moonblast, which you're just not able to do right now anymore. You need 2 charge moves for a lot of matchups, while Tackle was either able to farm down afterwards, or like with the just the damage that they did prior, Tackle was just able to get Pokemon a little bit lower. So I don't know, I'm actually not sure. Like, I actually thought that the Xerneas would be way better than it actually was at the end. Don't get me wrong, it's still a very strong Pokemon, but I had like such high hopes for this Pokemon to be like super overpowered and broken. It's balanced, like it's balanced. It's a very strong Pokemon to use, don't get me wrong, you can definitely use it. It's a very solid pick to go for the Open Master League. It is better than Tackle in general. But I don't feel like that the difference between Tackle Xerneas and this Xerneas is too big, just because there are so many matchups where one Moonblast plus the Tackle damage would have been enough to knock out opponents, and here you have to now go for 2 Close Combats, 2 Moonblasts. So, I don't know. Honestly, I'm kinda disappointed on the Pokemon, like, I don't know. It is definitely still very, very strong, don't get me wrong. But I wish it was even a little bit better, or like it's definitely a balanced Pokemon that doesn't need any nerf or anything like this. The move is basically perfect, I guess. Like, it is not a very broken Pokemon, it's just a very decent pick to use. I wouldn't put it into S tier for the Master League if I'm going to make a tier list for the Master League. So I most likely would put it somewhere around like A tier to B tier, which is definitely also nice still, and definitely a very strong Pokemon to use. Definitely top of A tier, something like this. But it's not like, it's not up there where Zacian is, it's not up there where Dialga is, in my opinion. It's still a very strong Pokemon to have. Here we're going to be able to see that the Zacian is going to have a great time here having Play Rough. This is like mainly the reason why you want to run Play Rough. Honestly, I feel like Close Combat is a little bit overrated for Zacian, but there are some matchups definitely where Close Combat helps out quite a bit as well. Here, we are actually going to be able to still get to the Wild Charge, gonna get the shield from the opponent. Not only that, the opponent also decides to go for still a charge move here, which I don't understand why. Also, why do you go for Shadow Ball? You have to have like Dragon Pulse or something here, otherwise it does not make sense. I'm going to use a shield here against the opponent's Giratina, as the Close Combat is going to be very nice for whatever they have in the bag. It's going to be the Kyogre from the opponent, allowing me to go for one Moonblast here right now, going to get some decent damage onto them, and I'm going to swap out onto the Surf into my own Kyogre, which can take this move without a doubt, as we're going to see the Dialga swapping in against us. This is not good, and I think this might be even the matchup where I played a little bit wrongly there, I don't know. Let's see, we're going to see the Iron Head coming through from the opponent. I don't have Blizzard. Blizzard is most likely the best move for Kyogre in my opinion, but we're still going to be able to go for the Origin Pulse and get them low. I can still go ahead and go for this charge move here, which is going to be Play Rough, which is, not Play Rough, Moonblast, which is totally fine, but sadly, our Xerneas is actually not that bulky. I thought this Pokemon would be way bulkier, but no, we are not that bulky. The opponent makes a great play here, by the way. They have enough energy, of course, to get to like one charge move for sure already. Maybe even 2, close to 2, and they didn't go for it, which allows them now to knock me out. So good game there to the opponent, great play there. Next opponent, this is where you really want to have the move Close Combat, of course. You see me here going for the player first. I was hoping that they might shield, but also I couldn't really get the double debuff onto my defense here right now without using Close Combat, because they're running double Iron Bash, and double Iron Bash is very spammy and it does hurt quite a bit. And so this is a very awkward scenario for us right now, because you're going to be forced to shield, but we are not even going to be able to knock them out with the Wild Charge here. Like, it's not in Wild Charge range yet. Here's definitely where Close Combat might be the play to go for. Like, it's always kind of awkward. Like, if you don't go for close combat, you're going to have an issue, like a little bit of an issue against like potential steel type Pokemon or whatever. But if you don't go ahead and go for like wild charge, and you rather go for close combat, you're going to lose then against the Ho-Oh if you don't have the wild charge for it. Also, your matchup against Lugia are going to be a little bit worse. But if you don't have the Play Rough, you're going to have a horrible time against Giratina. So you kind of have to choose your own poison there. Most likely right now at least, especially if you run Ho-Oh and the Kyogre in the lead, I guess maybe close combat Play Rough is the better play to go for, because at least I didn't encounter in the 4 sets that I played a single Ho-Oh in the back. I encountered, I think, some in the lead, but I think maybe there was one that I had in the back there, but like usually they're in the lead, so it's not really the biggest deal there. So maybe close combat Play Rough is the way to go, but I'm not sure, or even close combat and wild charge, depending if you care too much about the Giratina. But I feel like Giratina is too common that you cannot run the fairy type step move on it either. So like you kind of want to have that. Here we're going to see the Hexorus against us right now, and this Pokemon going to destroy us, as there's nothing that I can do about it. Horrible lead for us, not really coming back against the steel types either. So like there was not a lot that I can do there really, to be fair, but it's okay. Horrible lead. Now we're going to have a very, very neutral lead. I think we can win this in the 0 and like 1 shield scenario, but they win this in a 2 shield scenario or something like this. We will find out shortly, as the stuff coming through gonna get shielded by the opponent, which is very good for us because they like to get shields from the opponent. But of course, they're going to get a shield back here from me. I will be able to win the next scenario as well, as I can outspeed them to the next serve here before they can go for one, what's called Side Strike here. I can still try to get some damage onto them with my fast move, and this is very decent for us, as we now can let this move go through. I can go into my Snarl variant of the Zacian, which does super effective damage. They're going to hit me very hard here, but I'd rather keep the shield alive for my Xerneas, and we will see right now the Dialga coming in against us. We are forced to kind of go for the close combat here. 2 close combat is going to be enough to knock them out, 1 close combat is definitely not enough, but I'm going to charge way faster than the opponent here right now, so I can even go for a little bit of extra energy after this one. Just 1 fast move. I could have most likely even went for 2 charge moves here, but I didn't know how much energy he got prior already. So in comes now the Mewtwo. We can farm them all the way down. And oh my dear, we're going to be able to destroy the opponent completely with the Xerneas. This was most likely the best game of Xerneas, as we're even going to be able to catch the move onto our Zacian, and the opponent had enough, as the Wild Charge is going to finish them up. What a game from Xerneas. I most likely would have been even able to get a triple kill with this Pokemon, which would have been very nice. But moving on into the final game, very good lead for us, and I'm going to swap on to the Xerneas here again. You have to go into Xerneas, by the way. You cannot go into Zacian against Dialga, of course, because you don't have the close combat. The stats, I think, of Xerneas and the Zacian are fairly similar. I feel like that has kind of the same bulk of it, kind of the same damage output, so you can kind of know what to do here. Anyway, you're going to be able to go ahead and go for a close combat against them again, which is going to get shielded up, but I can even reach another one. This does not knock them out, but it's still going to be very nice for us. Honestly, if Zacian or the Xerneas would ever get a Shadow variant, I feel like those Pokemon would be so overpowered. Like Shadow Xerneas or whatever would be able to just one-shot Dialga, one-shot so many other Pokemon as well. I feel like this would really make this Pokemon so much better, even though, like, of course, having a little bit more bulk is also nice. I really think that Shadow variant of Xerneas would be so much better, because you're always, like, missing out on this small damage output that Tackle provided for you. But, of course, the energy generation is so much better, plus it's a stab move. It's just a little bit more reliable to not have Tackle on this Pokemon. But here we're going to now see that the Landorus can knock us out, but, of course, we still have our Kyogre, and, of course, we can go for an Origin Pulse, but the opponent doesn't even allow us, and this is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, and also check out the video that you see on the screen right now, and I see you then. Bye bye.